Well, there you have it. The first fight of Gladiators of the Cage 20 is in the books. Now we're moving on to our second bout of the evening. It's in the 170-pound weight division, and we got some new guys here, Rich. An 0-1 fighter, and we also got a little more experience on the other side. Let's see if we can get to the tail of the tape for the official weigh-ins. Cameron Chism, 22 years old. He's 5'11" at 170 pounds. This is going to be his second amateur fight. Sean White, 24 years old. He's 5'11", 170 pounds also. He has a 2-6 record.
Fitness, Mr. Sean White. Cage side, please. Sean White to the cage.
Sean White looking to make his way down to the ring, looking to get back on track. He's a game fighter, 2-6, but he's had some tough fights, Rich.
He's had some tough fights, and I believe he lost 4 fights in a row prior to winning the next 2.
Yeah. Sometimes, as a fighter, when you have a true fighter mentality, and I've seen this in some of the highest level of fighters, you want to fight, and sometimes you're not ready to. Let's just face it. You know, whatever sport you're in, you don't go to the highest level without first taking the proper steps of getting there, climbing the ladder per se. Now it seems like he's refocused and he's starting to climb that ladder and getting back way and on a winning streak. Fighters are fighters, Rich. We don't think that way all the time, but you got to take the right steps.
Well, in the end, experience beats all, and if he continues going, it's going to take just a matter of time before someone gets their niche and they catch on. Everybody knows Chuck Liddell lost his first match. Right, and he ended up just winning and winning and winning after that.
Yep, and you look at guys like Conor McGregor. He lost fights that he probably wouldn't have lost back in the day, but that's the evolution. And these guys now, a fighter's mindset is to fight. So you can't always look at that record and say, wow, this guy, hey, he's fought some tough fights and he stepped up.
He fights for Team Vicious MMA, Cameron Chism, cage side.
Well, here comes Cameron Chism. He is 0-1, 170 pounds. Team Vicious MMA. He does have a teammate here fighting today, which is Lewis Rumsey.
Another tough customer in Rumsey. We're going to get to see him later tonight, as you mentioned. 0-1, looking for his first victory, and he's going against a guy whose record isn't his favorite also. He's 2-6. This is a great match for one guy tonight to get their career back on track. One can be 1-1, and the other one can be at 3-6 with a positive flow of wins going. Now
I did have a chance to talk with him. He fought last month, so he wants to be a very active fighter. His first fight that he lost was actually at 190 pounds. That's how much his opponent weighed. He only weighed 180 pounds.
And now tonight he's cutting to 170.
And he's going to 170. They wanted to do a catch weight at 190. And he agreed to it. He only got up to 180. So fighting a bigger opponent, it didn't work in his favor. And I asked him if he learned anything from this experience, and he absolutely will never take that experience back. He'll never take that fight back. He'll always keep doing the same.
Well, and I always stress that, and we'll talk a little bit more after the introductions. But when you take that first fight, nerves play such a big part of it.
A huge role, huge role.
This fight tonight is brought to you by Rock School Pittsburgh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is in the Gladiators of the Cage amateur welterweight division. It calls for 3 2-minute rounds. First fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 170 pounds. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, 24 years of age with a 2-win, 6-loss record. He's a kickboxer fighting for Olympus Fitness from Monroeville, Pennsylvania, Sean Whitebread White. And his opponent, fighting in the red corner, also weighed in at 170 pounds. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, 22 years of age with an 0-1 record. He's a striker from Team Vicious MMA. He's from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, Cameron Chism. Chip Snyder is your referee.
Well, this is going to be a good fight here for both fighters, not only to try to improve their record, but to get some more cage time learning on the amateur level, Rich.
Okay, gentlemen, you ready to go? You ready? Come on, let's bang.
We are officially underway for our second bout of this evening. Rich, what do you think? How do you think this fight's going to go if you had to guess, talking with both fighters earlier?
I was talking to both fighters. Cameron has wrestled his whole entire life. I feel that he personally wants to take it to the ground, but it looks to here like he wants to strike also, because he's been practicing a lot in kickboxing. And Shaun White, on the other hand, he trains at Olympus Fitness in Moreauville, and he's more of a kickboxer based.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the feeling out process is going on, and that Chism maybe didn't go for that initial takedown. Looks like he's game to stand. Both very evenly matched weight-wise at that 170. Oh, there he runs in for a punch, and Whitebread just kind of shook that off.
Well, it's interesting that they're feeling each other out, because they do only have 2 minutes. It's still amateur rules, and it's the amateur rules where it's 3 2-minute rounds.
Big shot by Whitebread landed. Chism knows it, kind of acknowledges it, and starts getting a little more aggressive. The thing that's scaring me here right now is Cameron is keeping his hands extremely low against a kickboxer. He better either get his hands up or get it to the ground.
I agree with you, Chuck. It's very dangerous to fight with your hands up. Very experienced fighters do it on TV and stuff, but it's probably not the best way you could do it. And a stiff jab, he's just going to keep jabbing. Shaun Whitebread jabs, and he's hitting his openings because Cameron's not putting his hands up.
Yeah, well, he's calling him in also because he realizes that those hands are really low. I'm really, really surprised. Maybe it's the strategy in the first round to keep it standing and to get White a little comfortable on his feet moving forward so he can get the easy takedown in the second. But you cannot leave your hands that low against a kickboxer.
Now, and Shaun White's thrown wild rights and wild lefts. Cameron can potentially start to catch on and start slipping.
Another big combination landed, Rich, right before the round's going to come to an end.
It's going to come to an end in a hot. They're throwing hands.
Chism is swinging wildly.
Stop.
And now you even start seeing White at the end of that fight. He was starting to lose his technique and get more into a brawl with Chism, which I don't think that's the right game plan there, Rich.
I agree. If you were in Cameron's corner, what would you be saying right now?
Keep your hands up. Number one, defend yourself.
Agreed.
Keep your hands up. Remember what you did your whole life. The way the stance is on White, he's not going to be stopping a power double leg. There's no way he's going to be stopping that with his standing the way he is right now. He's too vertical, and he's putting a lot of weight on his back foot, and he's just starting to just sling punches. Keep your hands up, circle properly so you don't walk into the power hand of White, and set your takedown up and get this second round win or get the points or get to your game the second round and win this round at least.
And Shaun White, he was doing better when he was throwing straighter punches. He threw a couple straight jabs and a couple straight rights, and they were landing because Cameron's hands are so wide and he's not protecting his head at all.
Well,
second round underway.
Okay, here we go. Sir, you ready? You ready? Round 2, let's go.
This is an important round, Rich. Not only that, the 2 minutes in there so far, but it really takes a toll on you. 2 minutes in your debut can feel like 15 minutes in the cage. And that, you can see how that round started fading. There was more sloppy attacks on both sides. Once again, another big right hand, and he's chasing him.
A big wild right by Shaun White.
Yep, he's chasing him. Oh, he rocked him
again.
He
hit him. He
Chism
rocked
is hurt. White has to move in.
He smells blood.
The best thing Chism
and he comes back with a straight right.
Oh, he rocked
and then a Superman punch.
Chism is throwing some heavy leather.
He keeps going. They're going to stop it.
It's a time. You know what? I think he caught him on the ground with another punch to the head, just like the first match, Rich.
I agree. I think he just got caught up in the moment.
He hit him in the head.
And he was falling down. Now it looks like Chip has to talk once again. Are they going to call a point, or is the doctor going to stop this? They obviously got to give White at least time. They're going to declare. No, White wants to fight.
White wants to fight, and they're going to stop it. They're not putting up with this today.
Look, don't say
I take that back. I take that back. I think he's going to take a point.
No, wait. I think what's happening is the doctor wanted to stop the fight. Shaun White in the sports media said, no, I still want to fight. I want to finish this fight. He told Chip, and Chip walked him over to the athletic commission, and he said, it's okay, don't stop this fight. Classy move by White. This is what it's about, fighters stepping up. White said, hey, look, this is a fight. Things happen. I want to fight. I love that determination.
And that's great because he's doing it for the fans. He's not doing it. Yes, he's doing it for a little bit of pride because he doesn't win by one. He doesn't want to win by disqualification. Now they're taking a point.
Right, great. Good job here.
And that's going to hurt Cameron. He was doing very well in that round. He caught him with a straight right and just started attacking him, and he was going to finish.
Well, it could have went either way. I mean, it looked like he could have finished that fight, but remember, he was rocked seconds before, and it was flight or fight mode. So this is going to be super interesting to see what it was. It looked like a punch to the face. It could have been a groin strike. Either way, Shaun White said, I don't want the fight to go down like that. Awesome
that's great.
display of sportsmanship.
Yeah, sportsmanship. It's amazing.
I love it when guys come to
nice
fight.
straight right. They're still feeling each other out a little bit. They're starting to pick up the pace a little bit more. They're throwing a little bit of leg kicks, inside kicks.
Chism is finally starting to circle to his right, away from the power of White. He's keeping his hands up a little better. The low kicks are really landing for White. Chism keeps ducking down. You notice how he keeps ducking down, but there's no fear of that high kick coming and hitting him in the face because White can't kick him in the head.
Well, every time he throws that right kick, both of his hands drop to the ground, and Whitebread takes advantage of it.
Yeah, every time you see Chism, he's ducking the same exact way. If there was the ability to kick towards the head, Whitebread would be throwing, I would hope, that right kick every time Chism ducks. See that? And
he's trying to catch it.
If
he's going the same direction.
Right, and because of the rules, White cannot throw the high kick and hit the head. That's time.
There's a low.
Time.
Hit him below the belt.
Over here.
Unfortunately, this isn't going to the way that they want it to go, and he must have hit him square because he is down.
He really caught him with that one, Rich, it looked like.
And it was towards the end of the round, I believe.
Well, Whitebread knew it, too. As soon as he hit him with that, he realized, hey, look, I hit him. He went over and patted him on the back. Once again, another good display of sportsmanship. You know he didn't mean to do that, but, hey, it's a sport and those things happen.
And this is what you get whenever there's new people, new fighters fighting.
It's still an amateur fight.
One's 2 and 6 and has some experience.
Yeah, it's still an amateur fight. I think we're going to try to get back to a little bit of a replay here and watch this impact. We're going to try to get it here. If we can go back, we're going to have the replay here in a moment. But yeah, when you're amateurs, once again, your shots aren't as, let's say, crisp as they should be. Let's go to the replay right now. So, Shaun White moving in, and once again, he just stepped into it.
He just threw a low kick.
I
think he wanted to do an inside leg kick, and it just kind of slipped up. And
he just kind of turns his body. He throws the kick. He was trying to hit that back leg, and instead, he didn't hit any leg.
It grazed up, and he stopped. As you can see, he's seeing if he's okay, and he's saying he's sorry.
Yeah, well, by rules, they're allowed to
part of the game.
A fighter's allowed to take up to 5 minutes of recovery time. And I think that's a good thing to do right now. It seems that Chism is up. It's interesting. I didn't see if they took a point, though, from Whitebread, which I don't think they did, which could have evened the fight up right away.
Yeah,
but the second round here is coming to a close very, very quickly. 10 seconds left.
When I see Whitebread starting to throw a little more straighter punches as he's coming in, and then Cameron's coming back.
Yes, good kick right at the bell. That was close, but he was already in progress.
It was in progress. I agree. And now, that hurt Cameron, that round, getting that point taken away. He was doing very well, and he was going to win that round. I would give the first round to Shaun White. I think he landed more significant strikes. He was a little more composed. There's not too much damage, but there's a little more control. He was chasing Cameron around. In the second round, Cameron took advantage of and caught Shaun White off guard.
It's interesting because if they would give that round to White, or if they would give it to Chism, actually, he would have 9 anyway because he lost a point. So we could potentially have White winning the first round. So let's see if we can get another replay. All right.
Let's go. Come on.
You know what? I think they're about ready to start the third round here.
And as we were saying,
okay, here we go. Last round. You ready?
It could be just dead even depending on what the judges say. But right now, I would say the last round was 9-9 because of the point.
Right.
So right now, Shaun White's.
He
could be up a point right now.
If this fight goes to a decision, Rich, Chism, if he wins this round, we could see a draw. It's very potential. So if I'm either one of these corner guys, I'm saying this is your round. You must finish.
You must finish. You have 2 minutes. Finish. And I'm really shocked that Cameron is staying standing the whole time, considering his background is wrestling. And I did have a chance. I did talk to him earlier, and he said basically trains. He's just a full-time fighter. He doesn't really have a job. He just wants to train.
I'm really baffled by it, Rich. You know, if I'm trying to get my first win, I mean,
here he goes.
Shaun White's keeping his front leg out very, very far in a traditional kickboxing stance, and I would be taking this down to the ground as quick as I could, and I just got to be honest, I would try to grind this third round out and get to the judges, get my first win, and go regroup. But you got to admire, he's standing there throwing.
I agree, and if I was Shaun White, I would lead with that right leg, do an inside leg kick, and follow up with an overhand right, because as we were talking, Cameron leans to the same direction every time.
Every time, and an experienced,
or even an uppercut.
An experienced fighter is going to catch him with that, you know, and if they watch this video. But once again, he can go back. Hopefully he listens to some of this critiquing, not criticism, but critiquing, and says, hey, I got to stop that. I got to do this, and this is how I'm going to get my way to get back on the shows, get back on get my first winning streak. I kind of admire the fact that he wants to stand there and throw with a kickboxer, because when you wrestled your whole life, he probably knows, hey, I know how to wrestle.
Oh, that was a nice overhand right by Cameron.
Yeah, it really was. Now he's trying to test his game in the stand-up. Back and forth fight. 10 seconds left in this round.
He's got to finish. Let's see if they finish throwing hands.
They're going to throw a flurry to end this
Here we
final
go.
round.
Oh, they're throwing haymakers. They're trying to take each other out.
Stop.
That was a good fight. Stayed standing the whole time. You don't see that too often anymore. You don't see a fight staying standing the whole time. And as you can see, the sportsmanship, even though one had an illegal strike, the other one illegal groin kick.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, well, hey, both guys went at it. They said, we want to finish this fight, and they both stood toe-to-toe and threw some punches. And this is what I would always try to tell guys when training them, Rich. You can't make mistakes right now. People say, that sounds kind of crazy. You're in a cage and get hit. Well, yeah, you can make mistakes, but you can get away with them. You know, let's go to the replay and check out a little closer on some of these shots.
Well, here Shaun White throws a right kick, and it looked like Cameron ate it pretty well. He just went with the flow and just kind of blocked it in some way. And then this is the last 10 seconds. This is where the flurries start coming. Look how wild these punches are. They're going all at it, and I appreciate that.
They were gunslinging, that's for sure, you know. And that's
a nice slip and another nice slip. There's some misses going on, and and after the fight they just showed great sportsmanship, and that's what I really like about the sport of MMA, is that everybody respects each other.
Yeah, for the most part, everyone in this business understands what it takes to get there. And there's a mutual fraternity, a respect that goes into this sport. But going back to what we was talking about, Rich, if you win or you lose when you're in the amateur ranks, even a loss can sometimes be your greatest learning experience to make you a better fighter and a more complete fighter when it's time to become a professional. And that's what I like about Pennsylvania. They realize that. They give these guys an opportunity to go on a big stage, display the skills that they have currently and what they're working on, so they can go critique it, get those bugs out of the system and those nerves and those jitters, and become a better professional fighter in a safe manner.
I agree, and Conor McGregor honestly never said it. He couldn't say it any better. It's either you win or you learn.
And that's what life's about, Rich.
I completely agree.
That's
in every aspect. I think everybody should take that and use it in every aspect of their life.
I think we're ready for the official decision of our second bout of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. The judges scored it 30-27, 30-26, and 29-27 for your winner. Fighting out of the blue corner, Shaun Whitebread White. Shaun, there was some scrapping going on in there. What did you think of this fight?
I think it was a great fight with a great fighter, and he gave me a good fight. That's what I wanted.
Well, you did win by unanimous decision. It was close, but like I said, it was some scrapping going on. What's next for you, Shaun?
Whatever God puts in my way, then that's it.
Okay. It's a solo sport. You get in, they lock that door. It's just you and another man, but it takes a lot of people to get you here. Who do you want to thank tonight?
My two cornermen, Mike and Chet, MMA fighter Marcus, And everybody else, I'm not saying.
Thank you very much, Sean. Let's hear it for your winner, Sean Whitebread White.
Well, two very game competitors in that second matchup. Ends with Sean White getting the decision, and probably deservedly so. Both guys are going to learn a little bit from that and move on further up in the ranks. But before we get to our third bout of the evening, let's get a quick break from our sponsors.